Be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. Your body will betray you at some point. Trust me, I've experienced it. I felt ashamed and weak, like a lost. This one is gonna hit deep. It's kind of why I paused, but I think that you can relate to this. You never know. Be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. Your body will betray you at some point. Trust me, I've experienced it. I felt ashamed and weak, like I lost credibility and respect for myself because I knew I was on a mission to improve myself. But here's the thing. Your nervous system reacts before your conscious mind can filter it. Don't be ashamed to keep it real with yourself. We've had traumas and old relationship patterns stuck on us like residue that hasn't been scrubbed off completely. You're not guilty. Your body just remembered more guilt responses and carried it like baggage. That's what I had to share with myself too. When you're dealing with someone new, you restrict. I got this. Always had it, always will. Even if I have mistakes, I'm still showing my growth. And I'm not giving up. Never give up on myself. When you're dealing with someone new, reshape the thought that you don't need validation from sources outside of your mind, because you may deal with someone who says they don't care, and their definition of not caring will not align with your meaning unless they openly share and provide reassurance. I wouldn't count on that though. Listen, if you wish for something, send a request to the universe and you're wondering what's going to happen next or when. If your first thought was a blessing randomly happening, you're mistakenly wrong. Oftentimes, I have to stop for a second because there was multiple times where I was mistakenly wrong for thinking that I was just going to have the blessing, not knowing that I was going to be receiving something else that caught me by surprise. And now that I'm more conscious of it, it's a little frustrating because it's like, you know better. You put yourself in those situations before and you knew what you needed to work on. But now, since just the context is just a little bit different, but the concept is still the same, it kind of has you agitated and somewhat baffled, like damn, like I was supposed to get that right, but the context was different. So you were kind of preparing for the context and not just focusing only on the concept. You see what I'm saying? The shit, it can hit you like a ton of bricks, or you can hit you like a pebble and you don't even notice shit. But it's up to you to still pay attention to all of the signs that are given to you. It doesn't mean that it's going to control you the rest of your life or anything. It's more of just having a sense of awareness of yourself. Because we live in a world where people are choosing to be gullible. They're choosing to turn a blind eye when there are more important things that we should be focusing on to better ourselves, to improve our quality of life. But we don't do that. We're okay with where we're at. And then you have some that are really trying to work on themselves and be better, like myself. You are dealing with so many other people who just don't care. And it just makes you feel like, should you even talk about it to that person? Or should you just wait for that miracle of a new connection with somebody who's gonna totally understand what you're talking about? And then it might get to a point where it's too much, where you're just like, I don't want this no more. Now, if the universe was an actual person with like a sense of humor or something, they'd be like, well, damn, what the fuck? Like, what do you want? You said you wanted this, you got it, now you don't want it, and then you wanted this one, and you got that too, and you still don't want it, and nothing's never enough. We can continue on. Listen, if you wish for something, like send a request to the universe and you're wondering what's going to happen next or when, if your first thought was a blessing randomly happening, you're mistakenly wrong. Oftentimes, you will get a scenario that mirrors your weak spots. Oh no, This is not just to punish you, it's to refine you. It's like shedding dead skin of your past traumas and weaknesses, preparing you for your blessings so you don't lose them when you get it. The ultimate power is to stay calm, transparent, self-assured when old securities try to pull up on you. Allow me to be clear. Your old insecurities and weaknesses do not define you. They don't define who you are and where you're going. I'm gonna pause for a second and just elaborate that people still choose to dwell and live off of the past. Past results, past experiences, you get it. And it makes it hard for you to try to grow in a space where people are only focusing on the shit that they knew, the shit that they seen in the past. When it's totally up to you if you want to change for tomorrow. They can change their ways too, but everybody has choices. And those choices seem much more easier to work off of past information. And it happens even with in business, but we're not gonna get too sidetracked about that. Let's see here. Picture this. The old insecurities and the weaknesses that you're experiencing, they're like weak joints and muscles that need attention and need to be exercised. There's a lot of us that just don't exercise. I was one of those people who just didn't fucking exercise. Like, I just get up and just go do shit. And that was it. But not realizing how much of a benefit it is to work on your body. It's not just to look good. Not only is it to feel good, but you're keeping up the maintenance on your body to make sure that you can live that quality life and not be shortchanged just because you didn't kick that bad habit that you had 10 years ago and now it's still rocking with you until this point, and now you're wondering why that you got health problems. Think about it. Here we go. This life shit that we're dealing with is not hard. When you pay attention to your patterns and how you move, this will be part of your soul training. You would be farther than most because many would turn a blind eye, crying, why me? You're already farther than the rest because you're watching this. So far from what I said, if you're enjoying the message that I'm sharing with you, the letter that I wrote for myself and for you, do me a favor and, well, you ain't even got to do me a favor. It's up to you. Like, do you really would like to see more of this? You can subscribe, you can like and share, show the algorithm that you are interested in this kind of stuff so you can see more of my work and what's next to come. I'm gonna be real with you, just like I've always been. I don't really do this stuff. Like, I seen a video of this guy that was saying that he don't want to make these type of videos and put it out in the world, but you have to do what you don't want first in order to be able to do what you do want later. It's a little aggravating. It's annoying at times because you really got to sell it. You really got to be on your acting shit when it comes to stuff like this. To have that platform that you will be respected, but then again, you may be the person that don't really care for the validation of others. You only care about the validation of yourself. I feel one way to resolve this way of thinking for you and for me is that you repurpose your actions. What I mean by that, I'll give you a clear example. When I think about these YouTube videos and stuff and being on these social platforms, I make this for the unborn children that I don't have yet. That may sound kind of confusing. I do this for my future children, for the future family, the future society that I desire to have in my life, of the people who understand where I'm coming from, where I'm going, and they feel good about the information that I share. Because yeah, you can get the glitz and glam, the stuff that distracts you and keeps you on the screen for hours at a time. Yeah, you can have that, or you can have what you getting right here is the genuine shit. This is coming from the age of we getting on here because we have a message to share. And that's all that matters. Being appreciative for the little things, not just for what can hack your attention. So it means a lot, the fact that you've came back on here to watch what I have to offer and finding value in it too. Because you never know, like anything that I'm saying in this letter or that I'm saying to you freestyling, it comes from the heart. I took out my time to write this out. I'm not really big on scripts. I'm big on feeling, because I believe that life is a feeling process. And we go through things for particular reasons because there's something for us to learn. This world that we live in right now is your classroom. Your instructor is your intuition and the universe and the power of the Most High. That could also be all in one, because there's a God in all of us too, so, you know? But that's neither here or there. Let's get back to it. So twin, listen up. You might feel misunderstood, annoyed, or all of the above. Don't allow yourself to feel like shit, okay? Like, really don't. You're just trying to break free from second nature actions that cause you collisions of old wounds, insecurity triggers, and misaligned interpretations of language and energy. Whoever is on the receiving end will either understand what you're going through, or they will resent you, either now or possibly with passive aggressiveness. And they may streamline it into something else that make you feel like, damn, what the fuck did I do? When you were just being authentic. You were showing your vulnerability that you were learning, that you were going through something and you needed the support, but you didn't get it, especially from the person that you feel you're most closest to, the person that you want to feel close to, the person that you may love with all your heart unconditionally, and they still showed you resentment, passive aggressiveness, disconnection, dismissal, dismissiveness, or whatever the fuck. So it's aggravating. And yes, these are times where you would speak to the universe and say, like, I wish I had better. But then it goes back to be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. And you're gonna get it in ways that you're being tested. But again, it's not to fuck with your mental. It's not to punish you. It's supposed to let you know that you need to address this weak point in order to get that blessing. So it's like, I challenge you to change your ways, to catch the feeling that you were experiencing. Take a step back, calm down, be transparent. Be transparent with yourself. Calm down for yourself first. Because as long as you focusing on that, you're allowing yourself to grow. And a lot of people are not going to understand that, and that's okay. We've lived on this planet long enough to know that no one's really going to care about you better than you. No one's going to take care of you better than you. No one's going to listen better than you when you're talking to you. So it is what it is. It's life. You may never know what the people outside of you, but what's worth more of your time knowing? Oh, I kind of wrote that wrong. Sorry about that. You may never know. You may never know what the people outside of you. Oh shit. You never know what the people that are outside of you. Okay. I see what I was trying to say here. So in this scenario, knowing that you are trying to improve yourself, right? You never know how people would react outside of you. But as long as you know for yourself, it's about you staying true to what you believe in. It's about staying aligned with your truth. If you know you're not a bad person, you're not a bad person. If you know that you made some mistakes and you fucked up and you don't ever want to do something like that again, it'll go away. But you have to believe that it will go away, because you're working on yourself, because you want that for yourself. No one's going to help you with that. You have to take this road by yourself. And just understand this, if you are in that space where you fucked up, you knew what you did was wrong, you want to do better, you may have done it a couple times after you say you don't want to do it again, just know that people on the outside of your mindset are either going to see you as a hero or a villain in their story. And that's not up for you to choose. So don't ever try to fight what you don't believe in. Don't fight against it, because that's their thought process. That's what they think of you. So that just tells you that you shouldn't really spend much time in that space. You need to go somewhere where you're appreciated, not tolerated. You see what I'm saying? And you can realize this when you start seeing more negative patterns from them. This life shit is not hard, but it's definitely not easy. Just know that players fuck up too, and that's okay. If you mean no harm and you're off to bigger and better things, fuck what everybody else talking about. This is our moment to notice when the body pulls you back into past experiences. Check in with ourselves first by reframing the language, the mismatch, and learn to sit with our truth rather than rushing to freak out, over explain, or even crash out and say something that you'll regret. Or just, being belligerent, just being out of line. No point for all of that. You can't see clearly when the water is fogged. I wrote this letter because I had a bad experience. My old traumas and experiences has did something to my body to where I feel betrayed by myself. And for the person who received it, seen it more as an insecurity, not as a cry for help, which leads me to believe and to understand that, again, no one is going to understand you better than you. No one can read your mind. No one's going to save you. Only you can. So once you stand with your truth on saying, like, I'm sorry, I don't know what came over me, and I acted in a way that I never thought I would act. If they still fault you for that, just know there's a change that's going to come. And it can be a good change. It doesn't always have to be bad. But then again, it's subjective. It's about how you want to think about it. Do you want to believe that it's going to be bad? Or do you want to believe that things will turn out for the better? Because people can always give their negative connotations on things, and it's a lot easier to do that than it is to be positive. It's sad. But look at the world that we live in. What can you do? I know exactly what you can do. Take care of yourself. That doesn't mean be a dick to everybody else. It doesn't mean to act like an asshole or not be considerate of others. Still be considerate for sure. But just know that you have to take care of yourself, and if somebody doesn't resonate with what you're talking about, drop it. If you feel like you gotta be in a certain situation and you can't leave just yet, drop it. Move on from it. You said your piece, now move on. If you are in a particular situation where you can leave the situation, remove yourself as soon as possible. Be one of the healthiest things you can do. But there are people out there that feel that they cannot do that yet. They need to build up in places where they have the weakness at in order to move on. You see what I'm saying with this? You see how you can make sense of what you're trying to do and how you're trying to move, and that there are courses and steps that you have to take in order to get there first. It's not going to happen like that just because you said so. Just know that when you put that request out there, it's going to be that test of like, all right, did you work on your weaknesses? Did you make sure that you were secure in that place? That you built up the repetitions on taking care of your spiritual body? If no, then you have to work on it, because you're never going to get that blessing if you don't work on it. And learning how to accept what has happened and align with your truth. Because once you do that, you'll live that prosperous life, that quality of life that you've been yearning for. that you've always wished that you could have when you put together these dream boards, these aspirational pages, these, the stuff that you like, the stuff that you save in your folders and stuff. All of that. That will all come true, but you have to accept the weakness, address it, sit with it, work on it. Make it simple on yourself. Remember, this goes for a message for me, for you, and for my future society, my future children, my future family. Because there may be a point in time where I'm not here, and you're not gonna get a real message like this. Everybody's still gonna pussyfoot around on what they think is good for you, when realistically they're only thinking for themselves. I don't want to say I'm a man for the people. I don't have titles. I don't believe in titles. Everybody has their role, and they know what they're good at. They know what their blessings are. They know what gifts that they have, and they work through those, not titles. It's going to take some time, but if you really want it, just as bad as I want it, it will change. All of this, everything you're experiencing, it will all change. You have to go through the transformation. You have to take those steps. No one's going to do it for you. I'm out.